Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to another Flex's View this morning. Of course, I'm not happy. Shout out to Owen and KG, first of all, holding down the fort yesterday. They watched the game and reacted to it in real time, obviously live. Big up to you guys who watched the game as well. Do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I wasn't able to make the game yesterday, for those of you that know. I was at a family bereavement, so at funeral yesterday, so I couldn't make the game. Towards the end of the day, I did come back, watch the highlights fully, watch the game. Mate, honestly, what on earth are we doing? It feels like it feels like it's not funny. It feels like here we go again. You know, the sort of the same circle, the same rinse and repeat. Can you call it a spiral yet? Wouldn't call it a downhill spiral yet. I think that's probably too harsh. We didn't lose, but it did feel like a loss. The same rinse and repeat, here we go again vibe of the progression that you're looking for versus regression / stagnation. They're all so finely balanced. You can't clearly make a decision. You can't clearly put a marker for each one. You can't say we are 100% going in the right direction, because sometimes it feels like we are. Can you 100% say we're getting worse? Some people can make that argument. Can you say we've stagnated? Yes, at this part of the season, early doors, definitely you can say that. I think that's probably the one you can say. And when I look at yesterday's game and the performance, again, the game was there to be won. You're doing a lot of good things, especially first half. I thought Marcus Rashford was really good, flip-flapping people, nutmegging people, you know what I mean, pulling the ball back. Joshua Zirkzee, again, link-up play was really good, bringing others into play. We had an element of control over the game. Dallo, I thought, was really good. Mazraoui was good. There was enough there. Eriksen gets his goal, really well taken goal. And you're thinking, look, this guy's reborn. Eriksen's reborn. This is brilliant. And there was still I think there was one moment where FC Twente got the ball across the box when they had a shot, went just wide of Onana's post. But other than that, they didn't really trouble us. And going in at 1-0, you're thinking, right, okay, come out second half, kill the game, be ruthless, keep creating chances. And like Eriksen said at the end of the game, FC Twente wanted it more than us. And then the bozo gene starts kicking in, and I'm sick of that. That always happens. This bozo gene just kicks in where they just start doing dumb shit. Dumb, stupid things in like a sequence. And then, you know, so we give the ball away on a counter-attack, I think it was. You know, Harry Maguire goes steaming in with not 2 feet, but just a shit tackle, easy to run past. That's mistake number one. Eriksen, of course, holds his hands up. He turns into the player, doesn't know he's there. Onana gets beat at the near post. It's just a sequence of 3 individual errors in one passage of play, which just gives up such an easy shit goal. And then after that, we talk about the dominoes falling before they took off a few of their players and went to sort of like a 5 at the back. Like a 5-4-1, I think they went to in the end, until they started shutting up shop. There was about 10 minutes after they'd scored. Guess what? Bozo gene's kicking in. No one's finding a red shirt. Nobody knows where to pass the ball. Everyone's giving the ball away. And it just is so alarming. It's so alarming. And now you look at it, the next 3 games, because you're now winless in the last 2. And we talk about this, the flipping perceptions and the pressure now that builds from just not doing your bread and butter. You draw against Palace in the manner that you did, and there were some good points about it. You don't get it done at home against FC Twente, who I didn't even, again, my head was a bit all over the place yesterday, but I didn't even see the stat. I can't remember the stat of how long they haven't been in Europe for, or whatever it was. No wonder, fair play to them. No wonder why they're celebrating it like a win. 4,000 of their away fans. Then you now have a run of Spurs on the weekend, Porto away, which will be there. Me and Josh are flying out there next week. And then Villa away. And then now you look, and these are the 3 hardest games of the run. And now we're saying, we needed to be near on perfect as it was. And now we're saying, you definitely can't be on the wrong side of these going into that next international break. Spurs, Porto, and Villa. Because you look at the way we're playing, we don't look ruthless. We certainly aren't clinical. We are defending better in the most part. We are trying to play some good football in the most part, but it's still not enough. I think Culture Cam said it a good little while ago, and I really, really agreed with him. Like we have to draw on these little tiny marginal gains, marginal improvements, and in some points, yes, it is important to look at the positives here and there, but we can't use it to overcloud overall progress. Overall, have we made enough progress? Well, I'll say this: our first 5 games of the season, or 6 including this, have been Fulham, which we won, Brighton loss, Liverpool loss, Southampton and Barnsley we've beat, but look at the level of competition. Crystal Palace draw, didn't win, and last night FC Twente. What's that? 6 games in all comps, is it? I make that Liverpool. It's early. Fulham, Liverpool, Brighton, Palace. Who else am I forgetting? Barnsley, Southampton, FC Twente. 7 games. 7 games in all comps at the beginning of the season. We've won 2. 2. It's not good enough. It's really, really not good enough. I have to say, again, Bruno Fernandes last night. My God, at certain times. Oh my God, when we was at 1-1, latter stages of the game, I think the ball's out by the touchline. He tries to fucking nutmeg the player, I think it was, or tries to turn in, and it's like, just pass it. Just pass it. Marcus Rashford, I think, was good. That's positive. Garnacho came on. I tried to huff and puff, tried to make a few things happen. And it just wasn't the same. Højlund came in. Kobbie Mainoo came in, looked a little bit off it as well. Ugarte. Listen, it's hard to judge Ugarte. He hasn't been fully, put into the side yet and integrated into the side fully. But, gave away the ball a few times, but other times won the ball back, some high volume tackles. Nothing special in there. Nothing special in there. Just really, really poor. Really, really poor. And all that's happening is the pressure's mounting. That's all we can say. That's all I can say. I was very pissed off with it because, like I said, the first half was there, and there's no sort of deadly streak in us. And actually, on the face of it, this wasn't like the Crystal Palace game whereby you say, I tell you what, that first half we should have put the game to bed. In the first half after scoring, and even in the lead up to that, there was some nice play here and there, but the clear cut chances probably weren't as good as we needed them to be to actually be more than 1-0 up. If I'm thinking of it, I might have got things wrong. Let me know, because again, I did watch the game back, but it's not the same watching the game back after a long day as well, and it isn't the same as in the moment. I get that, so I might be missing things out, but I certainly saw enough of the game in its entirety to be able to make a decent judgment. But I know there could be things in there that you guys might have picked up on that I've not. But I didn't feel like the first half we should have been 2-3-4 up. I thought we was well worth our lead. I thought we was good. But I don't think it was a 3-4-0 lead vibe from the first half. Let me know if you disagree. And in the second half, like Christian Eriksen said, FC Twente wanted it more. We were passive. We just didn't offer anything. We weren't passing the ball crisp enough. We just regressed. And we gave up a stupid, easy chance. You could say it's a decent finish from their player. But at the end of the day, like I say about this fucking bozo gene, all 3 players, from Maguire sliding in like a madman, like an idiot, from Eriksen not checking his shoulder, turning into trouble, giving away the ball. And I don't care. And Onana again, people could say it's a quick shot and this, that, and the other. Beating at the near post, mate. I'm not a goalkeeper, but I know that that's suspect. Again, he shouldn't be that far over. It wasn't the biggest mistake of the lot. That would probably be Eriksen, but they're all just as bad as each other when you add them up. They're all to blame because it all could have kind of had a hand in stopping that goal. Maguire at source, if he just stays on his feet and just makes the block and doesn't go diving in. Eriksen, if he checks his mirrors and doesn't turn into traffic and lose the ball. And Onana, I believe, if he's positionally a bit better by being closer to his near post, which is where he should be from there. If the player curls at far post and it goes in, fine, good finish. But don't get beating your near post like that. Yes, there was a decent amount of pace on the ball. I get that, but the gap for me was still too big. And then the mentality after that, can we kick into gear after that and say, right, that was a stupid bozo goal to concede. Let's get the ball down again and let's start playing. No, we didn't. The team who looked most likely to score was FC Twente. They had a couple of counter attacks whereby The ball to the back post was overhit, went out for a goal kick. But if there was, Dallo was obviously inverting and playing in midfield, so he's not in that position. And if we give the ball away, it's a long way back. That's what happened. I think they had a couple of shots as well, some decent possession, and sometimes they got to sort of the last phase of play, and their final ball just wasn't good enough. Not just the one that went out of play for a goal kick. There was another one, I think, and I think the guy passed it to Maguire when he had two options either side. Basically, their fuck ups. So, on a different day, we're fortunate not to lose that game. And again, their keeper made the best saves. Their keeper made was from basically goals that would have been own goals off their own players. One in the first half, which is a fantastic save. One of their players just kicks it. And then from the Maguire header, their player sticks out a leg and their goalkeeper had to adjust. So they absolutely deserve a draw. That's the thing that also makes it even worse for Man United. And now, listen, be on the wrong end against Spurs. Serious questions got to be asked. Serious questions. Honestly, I don't give a shit about who told people what and who said this and I said this. I couldn't give a rat's ass, bro. I don't care. What I care about is just talking about what I see. And it feels like the early signs, if we don't start getting results very, very quickly, it does feel like the early signs of a spiral. It feels like that. I hope I'm wrong. But each passing game where we're giving away points and giving away stupid opportunities or goals or not getting the 3 points, each passing game in the last couple, should I say, obviously after Barnsley and Southampton, Crystal Palace and especially this at home to FC Twente. Their record's not good in a way. Again, I can't remember the stat of how long they haven't been in European competition for, but they were heavily underdogs for a reason. And to not get it done against them does not put you in good stead going into Spurs. And now it's so finely balanced. All it takes is, again, a draw, even a draw against Spurs. Just all it takes is that. And then you have to go out to Porto. Well, then what? You don't win that. Then away to Villa. Let's be honest. I mean, we beat them last year I'm not going to say by miracle, but we didn't think we would, put it that way. And then you look at how they're playing now. These 3 games, you can't guarantee we're going to win. You can't guarantee we're going to win anything. We couldn't fucking beat FC Twente last night. So it is worrying. On one hand, we do have to remember they're not losses. They're not losses, but I do feel that is... The Crystal Palace draw was a bit easier to take because you thought we were doing the right things on a different day. This one was a legit draw. It did, there's no other way to put it. And if we play like that against Spurs, we won't draw, we'll lose. We'll lose. I've predicted we'll win that game. There's a preview coming out with me and Abby. I had to do it before the game. I don't like doing that, but yeah, and we've done a combined 11. Of course, I'm giving it the beans. Now, I wish I would have done it afterwards. Probably wouldn't have been so confident, but it is what it is. The cookings, and that's what it is. I care about this more than anything. And yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Really, really disappointed. Bruno, again, I don't know what's up with him. And the pressure's just mounting on Ten Hag. And the more you look at us, the more it's easier to make a case that we're not improving at the required rate. That's what it's becoming easier to do. Again, I'm always a person who can pick out some positives here and there, but it does feel like here we go again, simply not good enough. And like I say, if we're on the wrong end of it against Spurs, I really, really worry for this team already. And it's not like we haven't got players to pick from now. Players are back. Rasmus Højlund is back. Mason Mount is back. I don't know what's going on with with Luke Shaw, but players. There's only a few players out now. We have Martinez to choose from. He's back solid now. Xerxes in there. Mazraoui's in there. De Ligt's in there. We got players, man. Ugarte, waited all summer for him. He's now in there. We have to start seeing a return. ROI, mate. ROI, return on investment. Where is it? Because right now, we ain't seeing it enough. We're seeing it in flashes. We're seeing it in 20 minutes. We're seeing it in one half, in 45. We're seeing it for most of the parts, but we're not seeing it. Anyway, guys, take care. We better win. I'm out of here. Peace.